Hi, everybody. Russ from the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. It's sunny, but a little bit cold Thursday afternoon in the sunny Hornchurch. Hope you're safe. Well, if you're new around here, why don't you give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe, all that good stuff as we're rapidly on the way to 10,000 subscribers. So, we're not going to talk about the game today. We're not going to talk about the game. I think Stell's doing it a bit later. I think Stell's doing a couple of dailies, actually. So keep an eye out for that. The only way you know if we're going to put any content on is if you hit the bell notification and you get notified of any time we put new shows on. But on a Thursday, what we like to do is we like to do a roundup of all the transfer news. Also, as a heads up tonight, we have got another quiz night. It's Thursday Quiz Night Club. Obviously, the first rule is there is no Quiz Night Club. And the second rule is it doesn't always have to be a Tuesday. It's a Thursday today, so that'll be on 9 o'clock tonight. So if you want to fancy like jumping on for a bit of a giggle, prizes to be won, all that type of good stuff. So, as I said, we like to do a little bit of a roundup of all the crazy world of West Ham transfer rumours that we have coming up at the moment, and there are a lot. That's for sure. So we'll go through. Let's go through a few comments in a minute, and we'll jump on board. If Lingard comes, don't see sign a striker. We'll see. Massive as ever. We certainly are. Countdown. Hope you're well, my friend. I feel sorry for Antonio. The geezer looked tired last night. He's been flying to Jamaica recently, playing all the time. Sometimes the players need a rest. Let's re-sign Haller. Banging him in, isn't he? Banging him in. Afternoon, happy hammer. Hope you're well, my friend. What more does Lanzini have to do to get a match start under Moyes? Criticism from Father Snowman. The DJ last night was rough. Didn't play any Christmas songs. I'm not allowed to play any Christmas songs, right? I get told off playing any Christmas songs until sort of literally the game before Christmas. I might be allowed a few, but believe me, I've been playing Christmas songs in the Budden household since mid-October. And if you've been outside my house, you know that Christmas has come to the Buddens. That is fair enough. Frank Butcher, hope you well, my friend. I'm still livid. We could not put 10 men bright. Yeah, and he slinked off, didn't he? Didn't make a big thing that he was 10 men. Very frustrating last night. But it's Brighton, isn't it? It's Brighton, and we never seem to beat Brighton. I don't know why it is. And I thought we 1 minute extra, we'd have been all right. 1 minute less, rather. I see Lanzini starting against Chelsea. Can he do it over 90 minutes? That's the question. Lanzini's a man. He can do anything. There we go. I think booing the team was a bit over the top. We dropped points and should have won. But yeah, we didn't lose and we're still top four just about. Indeed, Mr. Butcher. And indeed, I think we interviewed Georgie Parish just before. And him, because obviously Brighton fans booed them off the pitch against Leeds at the weekend. So it was sort of a bit ironic that we did the same. Just one of these things. Arsenal get stuffed by Big Ronnie. Here we go. Hopefully we can see that will happen. Negativity is awful. If the mentality tougher players are going to be effective, surely we need to get behind them all. Moyes needs to think about changing his phase from starting. Yes, agreed. And I think also, but Saturday is a sort of in terms of the crowd, they'll be all intensified because it's Chelsea. It's a Saturday. We're still in the top four, hopefully. If Man United, do some stuff against Arsenal tonight, be good. Big hat trick from Big Ron. Who knows? So, but yeah, hopefully we'd. Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's craziness. I think whether we're in this mentality now because we expect so much because we've had some really fantastic performances. It does seem the flip side though. We're allowed to criticize the team. Of course, we're allowed to criticise the team. Just because we're in top four doesn't mean that we can't criticise them. They've set their standards now. So, if anything, we have. We're slight. Our performances are at a different level than they were 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So we should be allowed to criticise it, but not the meltdown. I think that we've had over the last few weeks. It hasn't been great, but there we go. Right, let's have a quick look. Kenny, hope you're well. Very well. Ludders, hope you're well. I'd love to see still when the ball was supposed to. I was looking at that, looking at it. Very tough call. Ian, hope you're well. Russ, looking handsome as usual. Thank you very much. Gaza, I'm very well. Hope you're well. So I'm just literally going through the chat, letting people talk to each other. So I'm going to talk about, because we've got a lot of transfer news to get through. Martin, I'm very well. Hope you are too. Rob's in the house. Skipper, hey, very disappointing. Could see that goal coming a mile off. I think we could do for a long time. Stuart K, afternoon, mate. 6 straight draws against Brighton and Arsenal being a draw tonight anyway. Just we've never beat him in the Premier League, haven't we, or something like that? It's ridiculous. We turned over 6-0 in the Championship. but just can't do it. I don't know what it is. Danielle, hope you're well. Negativity pisses me off. No, it does, but there's a place and time for it. Because I don't think that just because we're in the top four doesn't, it doesn't give them a free pass. But they should be people. Any team should be called out. When Chelsea, Man City. If their team's not performing, the players, and then their fans have a right to say he's not playing very well. He's not playing very well. But I just think it's the amount, if that makes sense. Saw an honestly disappointed Sufel last night. It was indeed 8th Barley. Right, let's go and talk about transfers. Let's talk about transfers because let's get on the let's just do something. Let's just have some fun. So right. So obviously Stell does these transfers on a Monday. But obviously a lot happened since Monday. And in fact, one of my transfers, I think Stell might be talking about later on. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because I think Stell's going to talk about it later on, I think. If not, me. So as you know, I go through all the news, so you don't have to, basically. And I give you my ratings. Now we've had a bit of an issue with the ratings in that I haven't. Oh god! Oh yeah! I've gone through in that actually the Budden believability barometer is having trouble going through patents. So we've got the Russie rumor rating, the triple R's. So that's what we're going to talk through. So we're going to start with Sam Johnson. X said on these latest podcasts that we're in pole position to sign Sam Johnston. In a report in the West Ham Way, he said obviously we know he's probably going to leave at the end of the summer. In terms of his contract runs out, he's 28, and Moyes may have changed his stance on who his goalkeeper is going to be next year. Obviously, Areola is on loan with a view to buy at the end of the season. He might exercise that option and instead opt for Johnston. Big Fat Sam actually said on TalkSport the other day that he was magnificent. He's a magnificent goalkeeper. So here we go. He's got the Big Sam ratings. There we go. And he could compete for number 1 jersey, maybe with Fabianski on a new 1-year contract, or maybe he goes straight in as number 1 from the minute he signs. But it remains to be seen how this transpires. So the old Budden believability barometer, out of 5, nice and simple, out of 5, is going for a where is it? 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5, because I think there's a real possibility of Sam Johnson coming. Personally, I really think there is. So let's as I said, we've got loads to go through, and I'll go through some comments as and when we get through them. So the next one is this guy, Nat Phillips. West Ham are lining up a move apparently for Liverpool outcast Nathaniel Phillips in January. The Football Insider can exclusively revealed that this Moyes are in the market for centre back. Well, that's not exclusively revealing at all. After Bonner has been laid out the rest of the season with an ACL injury, as West Ham sources told Football Insider that Phillips is on a list of January centre backs, and they are laying the groundwork for a potential deal. Who are misses laying that foundation. Liverpool expects to listen to offers for Phillips, who's 24, after he slipped to 5th in their central defensive pecking order this term. Around 12 million quid would seal the deal for a player who made a huge impact in Jurgen Klopp's team when they were savaged by injuries last season. I mean, indeed, did he make his debut against us? I think he made his debut against us. So, in terms of the Budden believability, I need to get some what's names, some little things. Budden believability barometer. I need some sounds. I'm going to go with a. Have I got a sound? Let's have a look.
Come on.
No, that's not it. Anyway,
do it.
That'll do. So yeah, that's what I think. I think it'd be a good one. I think Nathaniel Phillips will be a good signing for us. I think 24 fits that sort of Moyesy MOT, type of signing. I think he might be a good one for us. And he came and did very, very well when we played Liverpool last season, rather, when he played, because we were always like, oh, you got a young lad, and he actually sort of dominated, and they actually beat us. So yeah. Speaking of Liverpool and defenders, there's another defender we're looking at. Apparently, it's Ben Davies, ex-Preston defender. Ben Davies could end up playing under a former Preston North End manager in David Moyes. the 26-year-old came through Preston's ranks, being sold to Liverpool in January 2021. Do you remember they were desperate because obviously VDV had been injured and he got a similar injury to Ogbonna, and so they went, I'm going to send it back. He'll do. The 26-year-old came through Preston's ranks before being sold, as I said, after almost 150 games, Preston North End. He has struggled for playing time since he's joined Liverpool. He's currently on loan at Sheffield United, but may not stay at Bramall Lane for the long term. He signed a 1.6 shock move in January to Liverpool. Meanwhile, although Phillips has been given his chance at Anfield, Benny Davies hasn't. I don't think he's the right person. He doesn't really fit sort of the physical profile. He's not. Where Phillips is quite tall and has a little bit more about him. Ben's a little bit smaller, so the old Budden believability barometer. It's a meh. It's a meh. 2 out of 5, I think. 2 out of 5. Let's see what we've got in the chat so far. I don't buy these Phillips rumours because he's right-footed. He's been playing what's name right-footed. He's been playing Zuma on the left side. He's right-footed anyway. So anyone that you know, just don't know. Liverpool point defence. If can't get in there, then we should stay away. Fair play, Danielle. Fair play. That's a good point indeed. Newcastle. Let's move on to more defenders, and then we'll come back to some more comments, because some people are talking about Tarkowski and stuff like that. He comes up in our list, unsurprisingly. There's this guy, Nicholas Stark. We spoke about him last week, but there's some more news came up this week. West Ham could have a very good chance of signing Hertha Berlin's German international centre-back, Nicholas Stark. That's according to a report from Fußball Transfers, who suggests that the Bundesliga outfit are now prepared to sell the 26-year-old. The Hammers were first linked to a move for Stark by Sport 1 or Sport Uno, Sport 1. And it seems as though the East London outfit could easily be able to get this one done and dusted if the board back David Moyes. Fußball Transfers claims that Hertha are prepared to sell him in January. They'll only do that if they can get replacement for him first, however. We think that Stark would be an exceptional addition for West Ham. We might be able to pick up a bargain fee in January with his contract set to expire in the summer. So 26, German international, lots of experience. And I'm going to say the Budden believability barometer is going to be 3 out of 5. Russ, I need to add some size and whiteness to your chins. Unbelievable. Make me feel so worried. It's because it's winter, innit? It's the old Father Christmas in me. I'll shave it off in a minute. What about Saul? I mean, I like Saul. He's a proper unit. He's a unit for Bayern Munich. I think he's going to be a bit out of our price range, I'll be honest. I know his contract expires in the summer, but we need someone in for January. It seems that this guy's Stark's available for us to get in. So let's see. But yeah, Saul is a big boy. Him and Zuma together. Nothing's getting past those two. I think Sue is out of contract. He is in the summer. He is indeed. He's a great player. They should do things our way and sell Stark before finding a replacement. Hey, boom, boom. Boom, boom from Happy Amaret. Right, let's crack on. Another centre-back. You might have heard this guy. His name's James Tarkowski. Don't know if you've heard of him. Apparently, we're after him. West Ham reportedly poised to make a £7 million bid for the Burnley defender in the January transfer window. According to The Sun, West Ham are weighing up a last gasp attempt to sign him. The Burnley man has emerged as a priority target for the club, with David Moyes desperate to secure the services of a new defender in the upcoming January transfer window. As we know, however, the Hammers have not had much luck in their pursuit of Tarkowski, with Burnley keen on holding on to his services this season. As a result, West Ham are expected to make a final bid of $7 million before moving on to alternatives in the market. Yeah. I mean, the trouble is, it's. I think Danielle made a point last time about Tarkowski. Burnley, $7 million is not a lot of money, but then it's a lot of money to if they kept him and he keeps them up for this season. So, I think, £7 million. I don't think it's going to be. I mean, I don't think that's enough for incentive for Burnley. Yes, they lose him in the summer for free, but they could be in the Championship. So I think I think we will have to paying a lot more for Tarkowski, and he's 28. So I like him as a player. I think he'll do a good job for us. But I think he's a bit more old school than what we can get. I think we can get a lot more. I think Stark makes more sense to me. But that we'll see what happens. But obviously, he's got Premier League experience. He can come straight into the league. He knows the players. He knows the defenders. But he's 28, so you don't get many more miles out of him, if that makes sense. So let's see. Indeed, that's what I mean, Daniel. Yeah, 7 million is what they want. They want at least 20 because it's going to cost. How much money do you get for staying up, particularly this year because you've got the US TV deal? There's a lot more incentives for staying up, and also a lot more incentive for the higher you go up as well. I think Gonz did a video about it the other day, and it was something like I don't know. It's a few extra million for each place as well. So you want to stay in there. No, I don't think so. I don't think Tarkowski's going to come. I'd like him, but I'd like him a few years ago, to be honest. To be perfectly honest. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about another guy. You might have heard some transfer news about this guy. Let me give him a button. My Russ's rumor rating is because I still think there's a possibility, but yeah. Right, let's move on. This guy. Have you heard of him? His name is Jesse. I've got it written down. Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard. And apparently Glenn Johnson, former West Ham right back, has urged the Manchester United attacker Jesse Lingard to snub a potential move to Newcastle and join West Ham instead. Obviously, he was brilliant when he signed for us last year on loan for the second half of last season. And apparently Johnson told Betting Odds website at West Ham, we saw how much Jesse enjoyed his football and the performances he got back to. For 10 million quid, I'm not being funny. Who could you get for that price? Indeed. Can't get much of a player nowadays. Very good, Glenn. So if you can take him, who knows what he's walking into. The club are doing great at the moment. He knows the team, and it's a lot less risky than if he signed for Newcastle right now. West Ham and Newcastle are in totally different positions at the moment, and that can quickly change with the plans Newcastle have got. But right now, with Newcastle, he doesn't know what he's walking into. Sometimes the grass ain't greener. Listen, Jesse. Listen to him. Come. Come. Do it. That's what I mean with Jesse. I think it's pretty certain he's coming on. He's going to join us. I mean, the Sun claimed that 10 million quid move. I think Stel said 8.9, something like that before. So I think that's what you're looking at, to be honest. Is it a foregone conclusion? In terms of the Budden, where's the Budden rating? I've gone for not quite 5 out of 5 because until they have their shirts or this, but until that signing video is released by their social media team, you don't know when he signs. So therefore, anything can happen. I mean, Everton, another team that are looking at him, but obviously Rafa at the moment. Is he going to be in a job come Christmas? Who knows? They are absolutely appalling yesterday. So Jesse's one who's always going to have some information. Now, let's move on to strikers because that's the main focus of today. There's a lot of strikers that have come in terms of rumours. And obviously after yesterday, the need for a potential striker could be greater, and it has been greater for the last 5 or so years, at least, to having this sort of like big name striker. A lot of names have come up. So let's talk about this guy, Arthur Cabral. The West Ham search for a striker in January could turn to this man in Switzerland, Arthur Cabral. And obviously, Stel spoke about him in the West Ham Weekly, but he's a Basel striker. That's according to a report from Goal Brazil, who claim that West Ham are trying to push themselves to the front of the queue, probably elbows out like Black Friday, to the front of the queue. It's claimed that West Ham, there was a meeting between West Ham intermediaries and Cabral's representatives last Friday, held over the internet or Zoom. Talks were started as West Ham looked to lure Cabral over to England. West Ham learnt that it would take 12.75 million to take Cabral away from Basel. He wants to move to one of the bigger European leagues, and West Ham could certainly offer him the Premier League. The problem is that Barcelona are also in talks for Cabral, having approached his main agent, Deco. Deco, yes, Deco, the former Chelsea man, and also used to play for Barcelona as well. So they pose a major threat to West Ham going in. He has hit 62 goals and 17 assists in 100 games for Basel. He is which is basically mental, a ridiculous amount. He's a physical and burly striker. He's scored so far this term 25 outings, 24 goals, 8 assists. So he could well help ease the workload of Antonio. And basically, it would be a bit of a coup if we got this guy in. The old Budden, the old Russie rating, Rumour rating is a 3.5 out of 5. Let's just quickly go into the chat before we look out and see what else we got. Newcastle going down. Lingard to make a massive impact in the last 2. He would have done, definitely. Russ, question in capitals. Do we change the Europa away for? I don't know. Can we? I don't know if we can. Or can we now we go into the knockout stages? Has he played in the Champions League? I'm sure we need to find that out after bloody the Papa John's issue and the bloody Manny on a Minamai. We have to make sure that happens. Jesse, Mbappe, and Jovic. Simple. Jesse to old, the benefit from the Newcastle, which is 5 years in the making, I think, indeed. Arthur's job. That's my builder's name. There we go. Arthur job. Arthur Cabral. We only get half of him for that much money. He looks perfect. Mbappe, yes, please. According to X, we'll come to that in a minute. I can see James Sagossi going to Newcastle. Me too. I really can, Daniel, to be honest. Right, let's any more. We should get Patrick Schlick, seeing as Czech is our second language. He has played, and I believe we can add new signings in Europe next round. Very good. That will change in 20. Won't be. Yeah, exactly. We just got to make sure we know us. You know us in these types of things. But yeah, Cabral's the first one, but there's a lot more. We've got this guy again. We spoke about him last week, Jonas Wind. Apparently, we're still weighing up a move for Jonas Wind in January, according to the Evening Standard. The West Ham manager desperately needs to bring in more competition and cover for Antonio. We know that, given our current position in the league and the fact we've qualified for the next stages, having just one striker isn't going to work, I don't think. If West Ham are to finish in top 4 and challenge for latter stages, the addition of a top-class striker will be absolutely a necessity. And the Evening Standard claim that the 22-year-old, he's only 22, is very much on the West Ham's radar. Signing Wind from FC Copenhagen would be a huge coup as well. He's 6'3", big lad, and he's great hold-up play and ability in the air. He's agile, fairly quick as well. And he presses from the front. He has tireless energy. That's what we like, tireless energy. Good finisher and seems to fit in the mould of a Moyes signing perfectly. I think it's around 11 million quid that we could get this guy for. So, I mean, I think I've been watching a little bit of him since, I've been YouTubing him basically since his rumour. And he does seem to have a lot of the attributes that we like in Moyes likes in his strikers. But he's got that striker instinct rather than necessarily as someone who drifts to the wing when we need him up front, for example. Who does that sound like? The old button believability barometer is going to be a because I think there's a possibility, but Siri's not sure about that, though. I just think there's so many names that unless they're really, 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 if loads of boxes ticked, then you go, yeah. But this guy's got a lot of energy. And that's what we need. To be honest. Right. Okay. There's this guy. Now, this guy is a bit like a boomerang. We were after him. Was it last season? Maybe the season before. Gabriel Barbosa. But Rob Newman's come up with this guy, apparently. West Ham are considering making a move for Flamengo striker. Gabriel Barbosa, known as Gabigol, in January, according to 90 Minutes. The Hammers had a bid rejected for the Brazilian international in January 2020 when he was at Inter Milan. He made the permanent switch to Flamengo that month in January 2020 and has since become one of the most prolific strikers in South America, scoring 59 goals in 2 years. 90 Minutes claim that Gabigol is now keen to move back to Europe and the Premier League is his preferred destination. This has put West Ham on alert. Ding, ding. While the report suggests that Arsenal, Everton, Villa, and Newcastle are already tracking the 25-year-old. The report adds that the club will listen to offers in excess of 30 million quid for Gabigol, who has 3 years left in his contract in Rio de Janeiro. Having failed to make his mark at Inter Milan, the Brazilian obviously feels he has a point to prove in Europe, and West Ham could be the ones to reap the benefits of that attitude. 30 million will make us obviously making one of the most expensive, not the most expensive, but one of the most expensive signings in the club's history. But if he helps us qualify for the Champions League, it could prove to be an absolute bargain. Absolute bargain. So the old bud and believe brings me. I mean, it's a lot of money, isn't it? It's a risk. It's a risk. And also there's the thing I don't necessarily about Gabigol is he'll come in and he'll want to be number one. And Moyes' number one is Antonio. Like it or loathe it, his number one is Antonio. So whether he's going to come in and be happy to be a number two, you're a number two. But you know what I mean? So, I'm going to put back Gabigol as a yeah. I just think the money is a lot of money in there. You know, it's a lot of money. So, Flamenco, I know. Hello. Great player. No, great player. He is a great player. But I just think he scored a shed load of goals in the South American League. But it's the South American League. He didn't do it when he got to Inter Milan. He couldn't. He didn't replicate that. And so he went on loans of back to Brazil, and then they signed him permanently. Let's get Andy Carroll back. He started scoring again. He did. Great goal against Reading the other day. Nice celebration. Could get Gabigol on loan as their season finishes soon. Maybe 8 barley. That might take. That could be, a loan to buy. Maybe, but he just played a whole season, so now he's going to come in and play another season. What worries me is we clearly need a goal scorer to keep us up in the Premier League. But that's a nice change. Not keep us in the Premier League. Keep us up the table. Yeah, anyone from outside may take. Yeah, exactly. So. We want someone who's going to come in and just make an impact. Someone who's scoring already. Maybe someone in the league already, potentially. Who knows? Peach in the house. Good afternoon, Peach. How are you doing, my friend? Or good morning to you, sir. Right, let's carry on. There's a few more people. There is this guy now. I'm not going to talk about this guy, Nunez. I'm not going to talk about a lot because I think Stel was going to talk about him later on. Basically, this guy he's 22, plays for Benfica. He's got loads of people after him, including West Ham. And he has scored a lot of goals. But Luis Suarez basically recommended this guy to Barcelona when he was there, and the Hammers are looking to maybe get a deal done for him. It's all over the place. But what I'm going to do is not talk about too much because I think Stel's going to talk about this guy. He could be a very good one. So we're taking this one out and have a proper show about Nunez because I think it's worth knowing. We obviously had some scouts in Benfica because we had Vitinha from Benfica last week's rumours. But anyway, this guy I think could be could be a good one. But I'm not going to talk too much about him because I'm going to leave it just in case Stel comes on later. But he scored 11 goals and 2 assists in 16 games in all competitions for Benfica this season. So. And he sticks his tongue out when he celebrates. So there's this guy. We've already alluded to him, Adam Hlozek. I think this is the one. I think this is the one, to be honest. According to X, we're making a concrete offer. So we just got off from a load of concrete for the Czech striker. I know that the pound's getting very bad, but I think concrete. Are you sure? In January, apparently. So David Moyes is obviously desperate to get a new striker. We all know this. But this guy, one of the names, we've got several. Obviously, if you've been through already, a few. But obviously, one of them he keeps going back is Adam Hlozek. According to X, he reckons that the West Ham owners are preparing a concrete bid for the talented teenage hitman in January. The striker has been described as an exceptional striker by the Sparta Prague boss, Pavel Vrba, and he has bagged 15 goals, 8 assists in 19 games last season. This time he's bagged 4 and 7 assists in 15 games. Hasn't scored for a while, I don't think, as Stel was saying the other day, but I think this is the one. And I think with Krasinski, I think if anyone puts a bid in for him, I think they're going to veto it and he's pointing because he knows how high he's going to be in the Budden in the Russie rumour ratings, and he's going to be very high, 4.5. 4.5. I think this one's is going to be our striker, the one we need. The reason being is he's young and he's going to come in and he's going to play deputy to Antonio. That's the way it's at. Although Art Barley said he looked bang average against Rangers last week. Well, there we go. Hlozek is the one, indeed. Concrete for Hlozek, indeed. But there's a few others. We've got a few more to go through. There's a load, as I said today. It's crazy. The last 3 weeks, we've had at least sort of 12, 15. We've got some more as well today. So next one is this guy. Lorenzo Insigne. Insigne? Do you remember from the World Cup, the Euros? Apparently, West Ham are reportedly keen on making a move for Napoli forward Lorenzo Insigne. According to Italian media outlet Calcio Mercato, Inter Milan remain favourites to sign him, but there's also interest from us and Spurs and Newcastle. In a report by Football Italia, he is in a contract standoff with Napoli as they've offered him a pay cut. No, the offer was a pay cut, and he's still yet to make a decision. He's got the experience of scoring big goals in matches, both for club and country. His experience of playing the World Cup, Euros, and Champions League would certainly rub off the Hammers players. And at 30, he may be on the older side, and that could see the hierarchy have a few reservations about bringing him to the club. Obviously, a fantastic player. I don't think he's going to join us, to be honest. But apparently, that's the idea. What we do, we bring these rumours and we can knock them down, as we said. So for me, I don't think this one's got any legs at all. I'm going to put a 2, just because if I put like 1 and he signs like an idiot, so a 2, yeah. Won't leave Napoli. They're top of the league, indeed. I'm all about the Napoli, man. That's a new link. Well, that's the thing. We scour the internet. We scour the rumours for you. Everything has been reported by a news outlet. We don't make any of these up. But if the news outlet made them up, it's not our fault. Right, let's crack on. We've got some more. Right, let's see what we got now. Next is this guy, Eddie Nketiah. There's been a major Nketiah development for West Ham as David Moyes makes a big as a West Ham David Moyes striker target makes a big decision over his Arsenal future. We've been heavily linked with him for a move for the bit part player for some time. Moyes has always maintained he wants to continue building West Ham around young, athletic players, hungry to prove themselves at the top level. This guy fits it, to be honest. The Hammers were linked for a move with him back in the summer, and as I said, we've identified several players already today, and who West Ham could play, but reportedly spoke to, and he's likely one of several strikers that Moyes reportedly spoke to, but could not convince him to sign for West Ham and play second fiddle to Antonio. West Ham are competing all fronts, and so there's obviously more competition for places. The Sun and Transfer Market Web recently claimed that Moyes wants to bring in Nketiah, who's out of contract in the summer to the London Stadium in January. But that interest appeared to call, and reports to the rounds that the under-21 record goal scorer was in talks over a new Arsenal deal. Well, there has been a major development as the target makes his decision by rejecting a new deal with Arsenal. So, and according to Sky Sports, that means a 22-year-old will now likely be sold, potentially for a cut price deal in January, when he will be free to agree a pre-contract move for a foreign club. Nketiah seems to tick all the boxes for Moyes' recruitment philosophy at West Ham, and the Lewisham-born striker would need little time to adjust and acclimatise, given he has Premier League experience and he's settled in London, and he's close mates with Declan Rice. They played together in the Chelsea youth team, so this could have legs. I think there's a real possibility with this guy. He's young, athletic, and I said, in terms of adjustment, I know some people worried about, someone like Gabigol, who wouldn't necessarily adjust to the Premier League so quickly. He knows the Premier League. He doesn't play a lot of games, but he does. He does seem to score, to be honest. So I'm going to put this guy at a 4 out of 5. I think there's a real possibility we could get him nab him in January potentially. But then again, it's the same thing with Arsenal. Will Arsenal sell him? Because we're competing for that Champions League spot with them at the moment. So Who knows? He never plays for Arsenal. Don't blame him wanting to leave. Rush, do you think all these ex-players tooting Rice around the place? Well, they all will be because they're all ex-players, isn't it? He's a legend, similar to them. I don't believe that he'll leave. No, I don't think he'll leave, to be honest, man. West Ham needs to be patient. All these players, hedge your places on the platter are the reasons why West Ham's top four. Be careful what you wish for. Every team has a bad patch. Yeah, we are. We're having a bad patches sometimes, but I think there's, we're coming into January now, so there's options to look at people. According to a source, Arsenal offered 85 million for Vlahovic. Refused. Seems like prefers to move to. Well, apparently on that, I didn't include that today, but apparently that he's rejected his contract, so he's going to be available for 35 million in January, apparently, but I don't know. Rumors say that West Ham are ready to offer 70. I think the thing at the moment is it could be 35 million. That's what I've been reading about, because he's rejected the latest approach. But he wants to sign for Arsenal. I was about to say he wants to sign for Arsenal. He does want Arsenal. Would love him to. Don't want to see him, but he'll sign when he's 36. Indeed, he probably will. He's pleased. Right. What's unbelievable? The Anton thigh ratings. That's what we should do, an Anton thigh rating rather than girth rating. Last one, and this guy's coming back with a bit of news. Giovanni Simeone. West Ham apparently planning to lure. Come on.
Come on. Do it.
To lure Giovanni Simeone to the Premier League this January. But speaking to DAZN, DAZN, the Hellas Verona president, Mauricio Setti, has made it clear the striker is going nowhere. There we go. The Spanish-born Argentinian is in the form of his life, scoring 9 goals in 14 games for Serie A since joining Hellas in the summer. Those sacrifices are certainly paying dividends. According to the Express, a West Ham side with just one centre-forward at their disposal have identified Simeone as their top striker target ahead of the January transfer window. David Moyes' Hammers failed with a loan bid for the £14 million rated Simeone over the summer. We ain't getting him. We're not going to get him. He's on loan, isn't he? He's on loan, so I think Verona have first refusal anyway, and they don't seem to put that one in there. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think we're signing this guy at all. I'd like him because he's in cracking form, and I think you buy players in form, but obviously you pay top dollar for players in form. So for me, I could see why, but I don't think so, because there's too many complications. He's on loan, so I think Verona there was talk of Verona buying out his contract. He's on something ridiculous for a buyout of like 10 million or something like that, and then send him back and then sell him. They were going to flip him for like double, 3 times the money, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So that's the news. What we got here? I'll happy to take the role of thigh judge. Indeed, Ovs, yeah, definitely. This one is a bomb, Russ. Giovanni Simeone. There we go. What West Ham need is 2 quality defensive players. Kind of 2 minutes to go at home and close the game out. It's all about defensive unit that's causing problems. It is. When Pat's away, Frank will play. Indeed, Belotti. Yeah, no, I think Belotti, but I don't think that will happen to if we ever got Belotti, it'll be in the summer. Because he's out of contract in the summer, so I think that's one. He's on loan, yes, but don't have the money. But I think they get first refusal. If we try and buy him off their parent club, I think then Verona get the money, or they get an offer to buy him first, and then that was a talk that Verona were going to buy him and then flip him in the summer to double their money. Could do a job. He's a naughty geezer. You can join him in it's all happening with the thigh judging. Should have kept hold of Hugel. He did sign him. So that's so far we had. So how many do we have this today? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think we had 13 players today. And as I said, one of them we didn't even talk about a lot until the Nunez. I think Stell's going to talk about it a bit later on, because there could be just to go a bit more in depth about him. And that's what we try and do. I got a sack of cement in his shoulder and do 50 squats of him. Good on you. Good on you, Frank. As I said, tonight, I think Stell's doing a daily today. So check that out. Make sure you keep an eye on. And obviously, the only way you can keep an eye on is by subscribing, hit the bell notification. And you made aware of anytime we put new content on, of course. Tonight, we have got quiz night tonight. Thursday, quiz nightclub. Join us, interactive. You do it on your phone. We have a leaderboard, and that'll be from 9 o'clock UK time. Prizes to be won. Well, I've still got to sort out the prizes from the other one. But prizes to be won. Make sure you check it out. We'll have a giggle. It's only 20 questions, and they're all pictures anyway. Who's his ex-player? What club did his ex-player buy him from? Yada, yada, yada. All very, very easy. Feel free to join us from 9 o'clock tonight. What we got here, Rob Grubin found Aguero, I believe, and he had no Premier League before Man City. And look, we did. Good point, Kenny. And I think Barbosa has come through again from Rob Newman. He was identified, which is weird because we were always after him last January. But after all that, Moyes will wait, indeed. Ended the game in a disappointing way, but we had way more scoring chances. A crossbar, a vast screw up, and 3 good saves. They only troubled us with the goal. They did. Leaving Danielle Hammerette and Frank to talk about the Girth gang. The Girthy gang, well, the Girth girls. Okay, so we talk about the Girth girls. Very, very good. As I said, we try and do this every Thursday. And so we're back next Thursday with more transfers news. Obviously, on Mondays, the West Ham Weekly still includes transfers there. And any breaking news that comes out, we try and get to you straight away so you guys are kept abreast of the situation. Not just all about thighs, but abreast of the situation. As I said, I'll be back here 9 o'clock tonight. And then I believe tomorrow we'll have... I won't be doing a lunchtime live tomorrow. I've got to go to an office Christmas party. Exciting times in the Budden household, but Anton will be doing the preview of the Chelsea game. We've got Chelsea on Saturday. Bloody hell, innit? When's the time going? Goes all crazy. Most of the players playing for West Ham are good physically, but weak technically. I agree, Amir. I agree. But yeah, so we'll be back and then have the watch along, the Chelsea game watch along on Saturday, and then we'll probably have a bit of a kip, and then we start all over again for next week for Zagreb. On Thursday. Crazy. Anyway, guys, thank you all for your time as always. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to hit the bell notification. Feel free to become a member. Over 50 members on the channel. Each one of them I like to thank at the end of my show. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Wash those hands. Get those jab appointments. Come in your eyes. I'll see you tonight, 9 p.m. If you want to join me for the quiz, feel free. We'll have a giggle. If not, I'll do it on my own. But I know the answers, so I'll probably win. Take care and stay safe. Love you. Bye.
It's like a family tree, part of you.